Everybody's hiding but you and me, Amanda. Oh, there's Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Tanya's our chair for Maryland.
Okay, nice.
Okay, great. We're already recording. Well, I think we will go ahead and get started. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen. I don't know, I guess you need to find out how many people have any, I guess mainly Anne and Tracy and Patricia have a knowledge of MWM mentors. Can you guys, I don't know if you can turn your cameras on and we can see you, or just message us in the chat if you're familiar with MWM mentors. Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
I'm
am.
sorry.
I just stumbled upon this group this week, and I'm really just trying to learn more about what's going on with this. I am involved in STEM in Indiana at the elementary level, and would love to learn more about the programming that you guys are doing.
Okay, great. And by elementary level, you mean elementary school or KA?
Yes, elementary K through 5 program within a district.
Okay, wonderful. And
I
then,
just,
sorry, Patricia.
Similar to Tracy, I just saw the STEM Connector email and thought it was a great opportunity. I'm involved in a number of STEM outreach opportunities. I work at Elanco Animal Health and just do STEM outreach as part of volunteer opportunities. I'm also a board member of the Science Education Foundation of Indiana, CEFI. So this is a great opportunity to maybe collaborate as well.
Yeah, okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I'll let Amanda introduce herself as well.
Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm Amanda Redenbaugh. I'm the marketing coordinator for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm also a big sister. And I think mentoring is very important along with STEM research and Sheila's great to work with. She's super helpful, and I think it's something that's very important to have in Indiana.
Yes, great. Thank you, Amanda. And then Anne.
Sorry, I got dropped.
Oh.
I'm trying to come back here. Sorry, I'm
We got you.
multitasking. Hi, I'm Ann Plater. I'm the president of Athena International, which is a women's leadership organization. And so I saw the email as well, and I just wanted to learn more.
Okay, are you in Indiana?
Yeah, I physically am in Fort Wayne. We're kind of a virtual organization. Our actual technical address is Michigan.
Okay, is this the Athena Award? Is that the?
Yes,
Okay.
it's the same organization. Yeah.
Okay. I'm an Athena Award winner. So
Yay.
yeah, so
Congratulations.
A few years ago, so great organization for sure.
Right.
So anyway, and then Tanya, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Tanya Haddisy Steer. I'm the executive director for a nonprofit called Woman to Woman Mentoring in Frederick, Maryland. And I am I'm going to call myself the starting chair for STEM Maryland. I'm learning more today on how Sheila presents. So I'm here to observe and learn and carry on. Great.
Thank you. Thank you. And for everybody, I'm Sheila Boynton, and I serve as the National Stage Chair for MWM Mentors. I'm an engineer by training, and then also I own an educational technology company. So we do STEM education all over the country. And I serve in this role because I think it's very important to get girls and women in STEM careers and keep them there. And then I'm also joined by Maya Knighton, who is on the staff of MWM Mentors. And I don't know, Maya, if you can turn your camera on for a minute, say hello to everybody. That would be great. Great, there you are.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am a marketing coordinator for STEM Connector, and I work with Sheila to help support MWM Mentors and different outreach and such. And if you have any other, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I can add my email to the chat too if anyone has, if anyone wants to reach out.
Great. Yes, if everybody can, just go ahead and put even their name and email in the chat. That would be super helpful. So that way we at least know who all was here and how we can follow up. So I'm going to share my screen and go to our presentation. So I hope everybody can see our screen. So I know some of you know a little bit about Million Mentors. Some of you maybe know a little bit more. Hopefully we can come and explain a lot of it along the way. I think mainly, you know, to say this started as a movement about 6 years ago, trying to encourage more girls and women to consider the STEM careers and to use mentoring as one of those levers that could hopefully turn more, you know, individuals and students and adults and everybody into the STEM workspace. People may know, you know, women were 50% of the workforce, yet we're only about 24 to 26% of the STEM workforce. And so it's a tremendous opportunity to grow women and talent in this. Of course, I think during the pandemic, it definitely has been that, you know, many women have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. And so I think it's another piece why this is so important right now as well. And so we started in about 6 years ago. And really the way this movement and now network works is that we have steering committees of volunteers in as many states as we can find someone that is in the state and wants to serve in that role. We did do about a couple of, maybe a month or so ago, we did an introductory webinar that was really just more the nuts and bolts of what Million Mentors is, introduced Amanda and Mary Mcguire, who serve currently as our 2 co-chairs for the state of Indiana. And based on that, this is kind of our second meeting in that path around, you know, trying to stand up a steering committee within the state to encourage, you know, more thinking about what you might do in the state. And I think someone joined, so hopefully, yes, thank you, Michelle Roberts.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. You just joined.
Hello, my name is Michelle Roberts. I'm Director of K-12 Computing Outreach at Indiana University, and I chair an organization of 14 universities and colleges around the state of Indiana to drive consistent policies, offer consistent dual credit courses, champion women and other underrepresented folks in anything related to computing. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I actually have our daughter graduated from IU in informatics.
Fantastic.
Yes, in informatics and entrepreneurship. And she works in Chicago now for Willis Tower Watson. So just can't say enough great things about Indiana.
Well, thank you.
She had a wonderful experience there. So anyway, so I don't live in Indiana, I actually live in Tennessee, and she went to Indiana from here, but had a wonderful experience there for sure.
Good.
So I think we wanted to start off, and I think we kind of did this already. Let's talk, everybody kind of introduce themselves, which very happy to have everybody. Did anyone not get to introduce themselves? Okay, great. Everyone did, I believe. So today, as we said, we wanted to kind of look at some of the guiding questions around, you know, how do we want, and I think I might have the old presentation up, Maya, instead of the one you fixed. But anyway, we'll go with this one. It has all the information in it. So we're gonna, first we talked about, you know, definitely sharing your name and your organization, your title, but I'd love to run around the table again. And, you know, just thinking about the work that you're doing right now in Million Mentors or not Million Mentors, but in your own work right now, if you could really share maybe something that you're thinking about in terms of, you know, moving more girls into STEM, what is something that you really want to focus on and figure out if there's a way, you know, to fit that into what we're doing. So Amanda, I'd love for you to start since, you know, you're chairing the work for the state as well.
Yes. So my name is Amanda Redenbaugh. I work for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwestern Indiana. I'm the marketing coordinator. And then what we're looking for, it would be great to have match activities and just learning experiences for our matches. We have 160 matches. Most of them are, well, I'd say half are girls. So just to get a good learning experience, always looking for ideas and resources for the girls and activities, even if it's one-on-one, because that's what we mainly are, is for the bigs and littles to do on their own, maybe some kind of activity, but just learning and growing and just learning more.
Great. Okay, how about Michelle, if you would share a little bit about what you're doing specifically, and then maybe how Million Mentors could be helpful to you.
I'm trying to get this cookie eaten and you all are interrupting me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know,
So,
that's the nature of our life nowadays.
isn't it though? Well, some specific things right off the top. Speaking to Amanda, I have over 400 state standard aligned activities at all the grade bands, and you are welcome to use any of them. I will, if I can get your contact information, I will enter you into our repository so you can use those resources. We also, we being Indiana Compute, have a free teacher training curriculum online that we were, we received monies from the state to develop. So we have 22 modules. We would love to offer computer science training to any of the folks you have throughout your organization. We are in the Girls and Boys Club in Bloomington, and we have trained all the folks who go in there. So we have them go through cultural sensitivity training, and then we have them go through content training, etc. So anyone who wants access to any of those taxpayer developed resources, they are already yours. Just give me a shout and I'll make sure that you can use them.
Yes, and if you don't mind, if you can put your email address in the chat as well, so then
I
we
will do it.
will make sure we get all of the contacts.
Yeah, that's great. My husband also graduated from IU, so.
Yes.
I
Keep that tuition money coming.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so how about Anne? Can we hear from you?
Yeah, with what we're doing is actually, you mentioned you were an Athena award recipient, but we also have we have curriculum based on the Athena leadership principles that we range from middle school through professionals, and doing some specific focus on women in tech right now with an organization called the Women in Tech Network. Not sure I know what connections could happen, but there are some young professionals there that I think could be very helpful in the mentoring both directions, if you will. I've been trying to work on Athena, have a vision of adding mentoring as part of what we're a part of, because we have such reach with women of all ages. So that was what intrigued me to learn more about Million Women Mentors and STEM, obviously, because we do have a pretty big focus with the Women in Tech Network right now. So I'm kind of open to ideas, but that was the intriguing part for me.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I would love to have your the Women in Tech folks make very short videos, because they are such role models. And we can give you a really broad audience. We have about 500 teachers who follow the resources and use them in their classrooms. It would mean so much to those younger women to see successful role models.
That would be interesting. Send me an email, because it could be as part of the cohorts we're running. One of the last principles we talk about is give back and bringing other women and other girls behind us. So that would be almost like a project base that we could do out of that, where we could actually create something for you. So if you could give me an outline of what you're looking for there, maybe check my programming folks, and maybe there's something there.
Can you put your information in the chat?
Yeah, she did, and I'm gonna
Oh.
email everybody after we're done. I'm gonna
Oh.
email everybody with all your contacts, so you guys.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sheila.
Yes, happy to do that. Great. So how about from Tracy?
I'm not sure I've got enough ideas yet for how to connect. I'm STEM cadre for the state of Indiana through the Indiana Department of Education.
You're doing what for the Department of
Part of the STEM cadre
Okay.
for the state of Indiana. We work with a STEM certification for schools. And one of the big components of that is community connections. And so that was where I felt that this could be something that would help me, especially in the district I work with, but maybe with other people in Indiana, make connections for finding those resources to use within the community.
It seems like Michelle might be able to do that for you with IU and Ann maybe with people. So I think could be two collisions there that could be helpful. So wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, how about Patricia?
So I'm involved in a number of organizations, like I mentioned, that we do STEM outreach. For example, the Science Education Foundation of Indiana does the Celebrate Science Indiana activity every year. And we also host the national, oh my goodness, science fair. And then we also have Junior Achievement of Job Spark Indiana. We host Job Spark Indiana as well, where we present to 8th graders a bunch of different job opportunities. And we focus, of course, because our specialty is in STEM education, we focus on that, especially animal health, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, things of that nature. And then through Elanco, my parent company, we have Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council that also does outreach, for example, to Girls Inc. and a number of activities. So these are kind of one-off activities that are really great as, you know, an opportunity to just bring science to our community. However, mentorship, long-term mentorship is so much more valuable because you create these connections and you're able to give so much more feedback and information and create that, you know, connection with a student and mentorship and give them guidance and kind of give them not just maybe a 30-minute exercise or an hour exercise, but create a long-term opportunity. I personally want to become a mentor, and I don't know how I can help this team, but I'm all for it. I love it.
Great. Yeah, so I'm going to switch back to our presentation and just kind of go through some questions for you guys to think about. I think you guys have already been really looking at ways to be part of Million Mentors and the things that you're talking about. So I think, you know, when we're looking at a state, and I mean, I think, you know, obviously this is a new sort of thought for many of you that are on the call today. So, you know, we may not fill this completely out, but I think and just hearing already, it seems like, I think if we send the emails around of everybody, you guys have your own connections that you're already thinking in your head, you know, from Amanda having some mentees and from Ann having mentors that are part of the Athena network, as well as Tracy, you know, having those links into school where Michelle has some curriculum. Like there just seems like a lot of pieces here that go together. So, you know, certainly we'll make sure after this call, we'll share that information. I think, you know, the other thing I think that would be important and to help the movement or a network within the state is for you all to think about your networks and whom do you know that are in your networks that might also have something that they could share with this group. So love to hear again some ideas on that, and you know, and then we can, you know, it's kind of like introducing the idea to others. So I don't know who wants to start this time. And we have someone else joining, Kim Thomas. Is that somebody you know, Amanda? Kim Thomas? No. But anyway, yeah. So if we want to go ahead and who wants to start? Otherwise, I'll call on people. Nobody? Okay, Amanda, you can go then first.
Okay.
I think you talked to some people, right? You were saying.
Yeah, I think that it would be good to connect with local libraries and maybe like, I know Boys and Girls Club was mentioned. I've seen that they do certain things around the Evansville area, but other nonprofits, we have a Dream Center, just making good connections in your community that are already doing things on a small scale, but maybe working together and make things bigger with Million Women Mentors.
Yep, definitely. Welcome, Kim Thomas. Everybody's been introducing themselves and just telling a little bit about their work and if they're working on any efforts around women or girls in STEM. So thank you for joining, and you can introduce yourself. And then if you don't mind, after the chat, after you get finished, put your contact information, your name in the chat box, please.
Okay. Do you want me to introduce myself now? I'm Kim Thomas, and I lead the diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at One America. And so we have efforts that I don't know that I would say that they're specific to women and girls only, but we are exploring some different options here. And so that's part of what piqued my interest in joining this forum to connect and learn a little bit more. I think I answered everything.
How many
The question?
employees do you guys have in your?
We have about 2,300 associates here across. Most of them are in Indianapolis. I think it's like 1,800 or so, but some others are across other states.
So this is a great, thank you so much for joining. As you'll hear from some of these other people that are on the call, they have access to some mentees. And so you would have access to those mentors, right? That people that may want to volunteer in their schools or with other entities and things like that. So great. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I think we were thinking about other people that you may know in this space. So Anne, I don't know if you wanted to chime in if there's other people in Indiana that you think should get involved.
I'm not sure. The only thing I was thinking about checking out was, again, the Women in Tech Network and their scope in Indiana specifically.
Yeah, okay, that will be wonderful. How about you, Patricia?
Anne, did you refer to the Women in High Tech, or
That's what
another
she
group?
said. Yeah, Women in Tech, she said.
Oh, there's a specific group called Women in High Tech in Indiana.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yes, and I know they have a lot of organizational support. So they would be a great group of mentors.
Okay.
Definitely.
Wonderful. Yeah, okay, so maybe we can find their contact as well, or you can help with that. How about you, Tracy?
I'm here. Sorry, I don't have anybody off the top of my head, but that's something I will continue to think about.
Yeah, sure, of course. And then Michelle?
Two things. We host an annual computer science summit every year in the state of Indiana. It's always in September. We call it Flipping the Switch. A theme this year is going to be moving from conversation to commitment. If you all could give me a shorter version of that, I would appreciate it, because that other long tag is harder to tweet out. But one of the many things we want to do is help pair women with mentors. And so there will be a workshop. One of our sessions will be on this. You all will present. It'll be awesome. I am inviting you all to present. We'll run 3 days. Hope someone from us can present all 3 days. And we thought that we could, this is just an idea we're kicking around, but we wanted to come up with some marketing grabby way to match people up. The one male on our Flipping the Switch committee suggested we do a swipe right, and we told him to stop talking. So we want some way to allow young women to identify interests. And one of the things that we found when we've reached out to young women is they don't know enough about some of the possible routes in computing to know who to ask for. So we thought that maybe we could begin with a round robin, experience where you could maybe shadow or have a conversation, and then a deeper dive. So that's September, and we're hoping to have something in place ready to present.
Okay, yeah, I think we definitely help out with that. Okay, did anyone else have any other things they were thinking? I think we heard from everybody. So we also have created a LinkedIn page for Million Mentors in Indiana. So that will also be a great way for all of you all to connect, and then also to invite others to be a part of it. So this is a chance. And again, just totally throwing some ideas out here, no pressure to do exactly what we're saying, but just want to definitely give you some ideas. So one of the ways that we have seen Million Mentors grow in some of the other states is groups like yours, small, starting out, go in and join the LinkedIn page, and then take a week, each of you, that actually you can post something about the work you're doing or about you personally, whatever you want to post about that's related to women and girls getting more, just thinking about that in STEM. And we have seen those really start to balloon and take on and get other people involved. And then you can even invite other people to the LinkedIn page, which then gives us the opportunity to kind of think about what the next steps are. So, so I think you might want to think about doing that. It's something that we've done in some other states, and we're starting to see that. So I guess our question would be, is anyone feeling, like, again, and remember, this is it's totally a movement. There's no requirements. There's no judgment, because, everyone's busy working, and we know what's going on right now in the world. Although I'm very happy to read today, we don't have to wear a mask inside or outside. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle that yet, but because I'm used to wearing a mask now all the time when I'm near people, and people are bad, right? So it's kind of a little crazy time for us. But it does make me feel hopeful that, hey, we might be getting back together as a human community. And I'm very, very happy and excited about that. With that said, I don't know. I'll be happy to take the first week, next week, to post in the group. And then I don't know if anyone else feels comfortable, if you guys feel comfortable to take a week, that you would just do one post within the Million Mentors LinkedIn group. So Amanda, maybe you would do the next one.
I can do that.
Okay. 24th will be Amanda. Anybody for the 31st of May?
Sure.
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm at an auction or something. It's like, okay, how about June 7th?
You can sign me up.
Okay, thank you, Kim. And June 14th? Anne, would you be willing to do that?
Trying to unmute. Yes, you can. Put me
Okay,
down.
wonderful. And one last one, June 21st. How about Tracy? Would you be willing to do that?
I can definitely do that after seeing what everybody else is doing. Thank you for all leading the way.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So see, we already have 6 weeks of content for the Million Mentors Indiana page, and then we'll, continue as we add other people, and ask them. And I know there were other people that actually had signed up for today, and we know things change. So we'll include them in the follow-up as well. So hopefully they may even continue that path and take those dates on going further. So I'd love to stop there. Amanda, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about, what you're thinking a little bit, and then hear from others if they have any questions or ideas or comments. And I'm going to stop share. There we go.
I'm not really sure. I think we're off to a good start. We had a good webinar explaining what we want to do in Indiana, and then today we're having good conversations. So
And
just
we'll
keep
put the
connecting.
link, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we will put the link for that webinar that we did earlier in the follow-up notes. So, because I know many of you weren't on that, and that way you can sort of have that as a baseline, because that's really a little more detailed than what we've kind of just thrown at you today as well. Okay, sorry, Amanda.
No, you're fine. So I think we're off to a good start. Like Sheila said, more people signed up, and hopefully they can reach out through email and connect that way, or start connecting through our LinkedIn. But I think we're off to a good start. Everyone has awesome ideas today, and
Yeah.
I'd love to see Indiana grow more and more.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of right now.
Okay, great. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else have a question or comment? Tanya, do you want to talk a little bit about your work? And I know Tanya's in Maryland, so I haven't been like asking her to sign up for anything in case anybody, I think Kim got on later. I wasn't giving her a pass, but she is in another state. She's sharing our work in Maryland, so she joined to kind of get some ideas as well. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about what you do.
Sure. First of all, thank you for not signing me up for things because I do not have the capacity. But I want to say that I love the way that you facilitated this. And I mean, I think, I don't even know where to start. I'm just so happy to be on this call. So I've been working in, I guess, advancing Million Women Mentors, the Million Women Mentors movement in Frederick for 6 years. So I've been involved in some way, but just in my little county of Frederick. So I want to say, I love the way you've simplified things today, Sheila, because sometimes coming on to these conversations, it can feel like big and overwhelming and scary. And it's not. It's really about this dialogue that's happening and hearing what, you know, Big Brothers Big Sisters is doing, and hearing about some of the other programs that are having. Like, it's about raising awareness and sharing and connecting and just advancing this movement, so that gap that Sheila's talking about closes, and we grow young women and girls and young women and professional women in STEM. I mean, that is really what this is all about. So there's not big to-dos and big program development and big things to do. It's small steps and us just collaborating and growing this group and talking and sharing. And what that ends up doing for some of the smaller organizations like me is we're able to leverage what's developed already, leverage mentor match system, leverage mentor pools and mentee pools and matching them together and putting activities together. So I'm just so excited to kind of see a state launch is what I will call it, because I've done a county launch, but not a state launch yet. And Sheila, you just make things seem so easy. So thank you for allowing me to join you guys today.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think you've said exactly a very important part, because, this is a volunteer effort. So, we don't try to tell you you're going to do A, B, and C. I think, as you mentioned, everything that every person does adds to the equation. And so I think one of the things, when we started Million Mentors 6 years ago, was also the idea of aggregating what was already going on, because probably you were already doing what you were doing, Kim's doing what she was doing, people are doing what they're doing. But I think aggregating it, I feel, makes it a lot louder voice. It's, a lot of pieces added together. And then I think the second piece for Million Mentors, which I think is really powerful, is the ability we have to amplify what you guys are doing. We have a national newsletter that comes out and it shares a lot of our information. We have actually a daily piece in a National STEM Daily, which is a STEM Connectors newsletter that goes out every day. And we have a daily piece that's focused on Million Mentors. So if there's things that you're doing that you want others to know about, I encourage you can send it to Sheila at, I didn't put my email in here, but I will certainly send you guys an email, so you have my email, but Sheila at thinkingmedia.com, or you can send it to Maya as well, and we'll share our emails. But also then the second piece is advancing it. So I think of it 3 buckets. It's aggregating, amplifying, and then advancing. And I already hear advancing right here, just Anne talking about the people she has, and Kim talking about she's working on something within her company, and Amanda's already got, some possible mentees, and so does Tracy. And Michelle's got these great resources. I mean, I just see a lot of pieces here that are going to eventually come together and be helpful to each other. And so that's really what this network movement was about. It was about not trying to tell people what to do. It was more saying, what have you done? What can you do? And I think the problem, as you very well know, Tanya knows this, is, we are all type A personalities. So we'll put so much pressure on ourselves. Like, we better do, all this stuff, and we'll judge ourselves. And I always tell everybody, like, anything you do is more than nothing. So even if it's a tiny bitty step, don't feel bad about it. I mean it. I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like we have to slap ourselves around, particularly women. We're very hard on ourselves. This, as we mentioned, the pandemic has impacted us in a disproportional way. And, to that end, I will say on June 3rd, and this will be in the follow-up as well, is a national webinar that Million Mentors is putting on. We have a group called Women in Insurance under the Million Mentors brand. And insurance is one of those things that, like, kids don't grow up saying, I want to be in insurance. No, that's not something that, a career held up there. But if you really look at the careers in insurance, and Michelle, this, I'm sure, it's so much data. It's so much computer science. It's so much involved in that. And, a lot of times we don't highlight those jobs for our young women to help them understand how that's going to help society. And so I think that, the more we can do that. But on June 3rd, they're going to host a webinar where they'll talk a little bit about that. But then they're going to have an author who's going to talk about us going back to work. As I said today, they said we can take off our mask when we go outside. I might get to leave my house now. But I think it is that, seeing how we transition back into the office, as we mentioned, women, we've had to take care of kids and doing so many things outside of what we ended up having to do, that during this last year, that it's a great time to really hear about others' struggles and feel some camaraderie in that. So we're not alone. And that's, again, what this is all about too, is really, as Tanya mentioned, just getting more girls and women in STEM. And one data point that I always think is just horrifying is the fact that women that go into STEM careers in the first 10 years, 50% drop out, 50%. Now, nobody has a silver bullet to actually know why. I think there's a lot of triggers for that, but that's an important data point, because that also means the trajectory of women in STEM companies does not get as high as it could, because they're not, we're not really in the companies long enough to keep moving up that ladder. We get out for whatever reason. And so I think that's the other piece where I love having Anne here with the Athena Award, which is a great award recognizing women leaders, and, figuring out a way to highlight STEM as an important lever for that in growing an individual's career. So, so that's about all I have, unless anybody has any questions or comments. So I think we're good. Everybody thumbs up. You're excited. I think this is a great group of women. I love meeting all of you, and of course seeing Tanya and Amanda again, but I think this is an awesome group. There is power in the mighty power in this group here. I am very excited about the representation that we got today. And like I said, we'll put together a follow-up email. We'll have everybody's contacts. We will also send it to all the people that couldn't be on. We have recorded as well. So if you're bored later on, you can watch it again. It's like, watching Netflix or something. But I think it's really amazing to have this wonderful group together. And thank you to Amanda for her leadership for the state of Indiana. We have another woman, Mary Mcguire, who has actually been one of our chairs for 6 years. She's an engineer by training, and she so believes in mentoring. She mentors herself, many, many young women, and she got a new job, full-time job with an engineering company more recently. And we also have been working in the past with Dr. Sue Ellspermann, who is the head of Ivy Tech. And when she was lieutenant governor, I had an opportunity to meet her, and I took her to DC, and she spoke at one of our national Million Mentor Summits. And she has continued to be our honorary chair for the state of Indiana. I think we're looking at ways now, and I think you guys can be thinking about, if there is a chance now to come back together and have some kind of a event of sorts somewhere down the pike, I think we could invite her to be a part of it as well. So, all right, any comments or questions from anybody?
I just want to say thank you, Sheila. You're so energetic. I know we're all super busy, so thank you for leading today and getting us all together and getting us motivated. I appreciate it. And getting us connected. Like you said, everybody has good ideas and connections. So
This is
I just want to
super.
say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday.
Thank you. You
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy to meet everybody. Talk to you
too.
soon.
Bye-bye.
So.